Ladies and gentlemen, we're set for 3 rounds in the Shamrock FC Bantamweight Division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the FM Roofing blue corner, a fighter that stands 5 feet 4 inches tall. He weighed in at an even 134 pounds. Fighting out of Des Moines, Iowa, by way of Esteli, Nicaragua, Andy Altamirano. Across the cage, his opponent fighting out of the First Form red corner. This fighter stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighed in at 135.6 pounds. Fighting out of Collinsville, Illinois, Pat Grzywacz.
Referee Dwayne Bess has the call for this contest. Patrick Grzywacz in the red tape. Andy Altamirano in the blue. Both of these guys look very ready. Touch of the gloves. Marano comes, oh, huge head kick.
There's no feeling out process. Grzywacz lands some big shots there, goes right to the double leg takedown. Vicious ground and pound here. Andy tried to get some up kicks in there and create some space, but
yeah,
Pat
Andy's trying to
just
slow the action
him.
Here.
Pat's in side control here. You're going to see Andy try to use that cage wall walk, try to create some sort of scramble.
Yeah, Andy has got to move here. Get his back to the cage, start to wall walk, do something. Grzywacz just came in blitzing after that head kick.
Yeah, I mean, they were not going to fill each other out, right? They were going to go after it, and in that exchange, Grzywacz just landed a beautiful head kick. Good job by Andy to re-guard here. He's in full guard.
Andy does come from a boxing background, but his coach told me he's got pretty good jiu-jitsu off his back.
You see him kind of working an angle. Look like he was trying to set up an armbar there for a second. Now he's just trying to control the posture. Again, he needs to sit up, get his back to that cage, try to get to his feet. Good job by Pat here. Yeah, just stacking
him away here.
Just lots of pressure. I'd like to see him land some shots, though.
Yeah, he's got to start using those punches in this position. Just trying to soften the body up.
Yeah, if there's not a lot of action here, Dwayne will stand them up.
Oh, nice little slam there out of Grzywacz.
A little slam by Grzywacz. Again, good job by Andy just to control that posture. Mitigating any sort of damage that he's on the receiving end of.
Grzywacz here trying to move.
Yeah, not a lot of action here. I mean, Grzywacz isn't really able to progress his position here.
Yeah, really just because Andy is locking him down.
Yeah, Andy has that closed guard. As you see, he opened his guard up now.
Trying to switch the hips a bit.
Yeah, this does present an opportunity for Pat to start passing guard. But again, Andy's just controlling the posture. See, he let go of the head there now. Pat's able to posture up.
30 seconds remaining in the round.
Just good pressure there by Pat. You see a lot of relentless pressure
Big
out of wrestlers.
Big up kick there by Andy.
Kick. Oh, he's got the
potential triangle.
He doesn't have the leg in. He doesn't have the arm in. He needs the arm. He does have the neck in a weird spot, though. Although I'm not sure this is actually choking.
Right. It could just be painful.
Could be. It's just probably uncomfortable, but you never know. You never know. Andy tried to make something happen there. I think, Pat clearly dominated that round.
Yes. We did see Andy try to fight off his back there, especially at the end. But if you were in the corner, what advice are you giving him?
You're just telling him, be more patient. Don't get caught up in that scramble off the bat. I think he came out just a little too aggressive, and he got that head kick, and then that was kind of the rest of the round from there. He did a great job, not taking a lot of damage though, controlling Pat's posture. Let's go to the replay here, Jeremy.
From the beginning, quick into the action, touch of the gloves.
And then they just start trading.
Grzywacz goes for a little feint fake and just whops him upside the head with that right high kick.
Right high kick, and then Pat just continues to swarm.
Oh, huge right hand there by Andy. Grzywacz going to his wrestling. That shot hurt.
Yeah, that shot really hurt. I mean, he was going to try to pull that jab out there, and Andy just closed the distance, landed a big right over the top.
Now, Andy comes from a big boxing background in Nicaragua. That's why we're seeing those heavy hands out of him.
Yeah, he's clearly very confident in his hands. He's comfortable there. But let's see what he's able to do here on the ground. I would like to see him maybe get both feet on the hips, push away, get back to his feet where he's more comfortable. He can start doing something. Oh, big up, another up kick there, another up kick.
Oh, my.
Those up kicks are dangerous. You know, it only takes one, and then Pat's in a triangle, a real triangle this time.
Or it knocks him silly because that up kick is dangerous.
Yes, it is.
The up kick is very dangerous. And Dwayne Best was looking to make sure that there wasn't 3 points of contact on the ground, and there wasn't.
Yeah, now he's in half guard here. He's in a much better position. You know, Andy needs to really dig for the underhook with his right arm, start getting to his hip and wrestling up. He doesn't want to be flat on his back here. Now, the cage does present, it's more advantageous, the cage being there for Pat, because he's able to use that, you know, and pin Andy there.
Yeah, there isn't much, you know, he's not doing a lot of damage here, but he's winning. He's on top, and he's winning.
He is winning. Andy was able to get back to full guard here. A little bit of ground. Ooh,
big
nice.
Right hand there from Grzywacz, dropping it down.
Big shot there. Now, every time Pat postures up, though, he takes an up kick. He didn't there, but it is something he has to be conscious of.
Down to just 1 minute remaining here in the second round of this 3-round contest.
Short shots there by Pat. I like to see him try to step over this leg.
Now steps into half guard.
Passes. I like to see him pass into half guard here. Oh, goes right in the mount. Steps over in the mount. It's a very dominant position here. Big shots
now
landed.
Now he starts to drop bombs. Grzywacz smells blood in the water. Referee Dwayne Best right on top of the action.
Oh, those shots are landing clean. Good job by Andy to keep moving. He shed both the hooks of Pat. You know, that takes Pat's ability away to flatten him out now. Look for Andy to probably step up. Although Pat's controlling an arm.
Yeah, Pat's doing a great
shots.
job now. Lands back into
in the mount.
Full mount. 10 seconds. Dwayne Best right on top of the action.
You know, I think we're just going to run out of time here, but this is not a good spot for Andy to be in.
This is not where he wanted to end.
You know, if there's another 20 seconds left, that could have been the end.
What we're seeing here.
Tonight's fights are brought to you in part by
Andy has thrown some
Construction.
Punches. Grzywacz doesn't like it
first form.
And immediately wants to get to the fight.
And
to the
don't
ground.
forget
now,
about tonight's Shamrock FC after party immediately following tonight's main event.
It's kind of a catch-22 for Andy because he needs to get inside because of the range difference. Obviously, Pat has the reach advantage, but when he does get inside, Pat just goes to wrestling. So, I mean, that's why this is mixed martial arts.
You got to be good in all aspects.
I mean, Andy closes the distance, takes away Pat's ability to really throw those long strikes, so Pat just transitions into wrestling, takes him down, and then controls from the top.
Grzywacz starting to wear this fight on his face.
Yeah, you know, Andy landed a big right hand. He can do it again. I like to see him maintain that distance a little bit better, stay on his feet.
Third and final round here. Pat Grzywacz in the red tape. Andy Altamirano in the blue. Jeremy Johnson along with Adam Ameristar live from Ameristar Casino in St. Charles, Missouri.
Yeah, Andy wants to close the distance, get inside, land his shots.
Again, though, straight to the takedown.
Right to the takedown.
This is a smart move out of Grzywacz.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
it's working.
Yeah, when you're on the inside and the space is closed, that's where wrestling comes in. That's where clinch work comes in. And that was a very easy takedown by Pat. It almost looked like Andy kind of jumped guard a little bit with that.
Again with those up kicks.
Again with those up kicks. Pat passing. Working into side control here. Good job.
Andy right in front of his corner.
Great job by Andy to re-guard here, though. He's got a butterfly guard. Or, yeah, he's got one butterfly hook. See if he maybe tries to use that and get a sweep. He has an overhook with his left arm. He has a butterfly with his right leg. He can use that for a sweep. Opts to go back to full guard.
Top pressure is the story here as we are halfway through the third and final round. Dwayne Best does not see enough action and stands them up.
Stands them back up. Andy just comes forward.
If one of those right hands connects.
Nice jab there by Andy. Beautiful double leg takedown by Pat. And we're right back where we started, onto the ground. All we didn't start on the ground, but we've been here most of the time.
Yes, we have. Down to 1 minute remaining here in this fight.
1 minute remaining.
Again, wrestling is the story of this fight.
You got to know how to wrestle.
100%.
And Pat, every time, you know, Andy gets to the inside, closes that distance, he just relies on his wrestling. Couple shots here. You can hear Dwayne kind of saying, hey, we need more action. We will stand you up again.
Andy trying to get up. Big up kick.
Big up kick. That looks like that dropped Pat. Pat fell real hard after that.
Pat looks rocked in that situation.
That could have been a little flash knockout scenario there.
It wasn't enough to move, though.
No, not enough to move.
Again. 10 seconds. Smart move by Grzywacz.
Oh. It's a legal elbow there at the end, just kind of downward motion, close to the spine.
Definitely wrestling being the story of this fight.
Yeah. Wrestling was
But I
was the
agree.
story.
I think the Grzywacz was hurt with that up kick.
Yeah, that up kick looked like it kind of flash knocked him out. He ate, you know, probably 4 or 5 really good up kicks throughout that fight.
So let's take a look at the up kick if we can here. Pushes him out, makes the space.
Yeah. Boom.
Boom.
Big hit. Pat just kind of falls right back into the guard, maintains that position. Not too long after that, the ref stood them up.
What a fight, though, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what language you speak, respect is always shown in the world of mixed martial arts. Let's send this one up to the cage to Joe Parisi to give us our results.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for your official decision. Tonight, we have a unanimous decision. Your winner out of the red corner, Pat Grzywacz.
A huge win for Pat Grzywacz to get back on the winning track to 4-1 in the world of mixed martial arts.